Welcome back, guys. This is another video for Tom, which I'm kind of pretty well sure that everybody that's building a rail, a dune buggy, etc. can kind of benefit from this. Me and Tom was talking through emails, and he was indicating to me that he had bought, I believe, an Acme frame. Pardon me if I got it wrong, but he got the knockdown kit. Now, Tom, I refuse to do the knockdown kit. You are a brave man. I give it to you. The reason I refuse to is these things are pretty much jig welded if you got it pre-done. That's the way I bought mine from Fisher's. The main frame is completely pre-made. There was, of course, like 1 or 2 tabs that was pre-installed. I think, if I remember right, those 2 tabs were here. And the front clamp, the ones that hold on your front suspension, those are already pre-done. But other than that, I added everything else. The reason is kind of like, Tom, like you were saying, poor instructions. For the person like me and you that love to build stuff, if we can read a set of decent instructions, usually we get the point and we can go through there and just rip through it. But when there are poor instructions and there's not much guidance, that becomes a problem. And today's, what I was kind of replying back in the video for Tom, was the whole rear suspension and shock mounts. Now, Tom, like, let me see if I can zoom in here. If you notice, that is an original frame horn welded to the torsion tube. That is the complete actual suspension swing axle out of my 65 Beetle. And for all you purists out there watching this and cringing, as bad as I wanted to restore the 65, she was too far gone. I would have probably put 20 times the value of that car fully decked out and restored. It wasn't worth it as far as the sheet metal repair. But getting into it, how I connected everything, like I said, Tom, this was basically, for the most part, a pre-made frame. Let me see, trying to give this tube is part of the main hoop that goes up and connects to the back piece. Now, this was stock, and keep in mind, this whole frame was made for a swing axle rear suspension. Now, if you notice, right here we have some square tubing. It's actually 2 pieces of angle iron, because this tube was supposed to originally, right here you would have had a bolt for the body. It was supposed to come down and connect to it, but the way they built it, it would come up short. So I think it actually come up to right here. So the way I ended up doing it was I found, I think this is probably 1.5 by 1.5 angle bracket, or, oh Lord, I'm forgetting what it's called. Angle iron. So what I did is actually gusset it from here down to the point, if this camera will focus, and I just welded the mess out of it. Anywhere I could fit a weld, everything was super ground down so we can get good penetration. That's how I connected it here. And this tube actually came with the chassis, and I figured out it was made to go from here to the actual shock mount. Now, if you can kind of see that, Tom, this is all original from the original Beetle. Even that's a mounting point for the body. On the other side, where I have my battery box, if this darn thing keep focusing, that's actually my ground point for the whole system to ground out the chassis. So as far as we were talking about, how do you mount shocks on this? If you cut everything out, and I'm hoping you didn't cut those mounts out, you should just be able to install a regular set of shocks. Now in your case, let's say you got one of the prefab, let's say you got a prefab type torsion tube. You could always make your own mounting points, just like a stock Beetle. It would bolt down there, and it would just bolt right up here. So hopefully that kind of explains it. Like I said, mine's all stock. I've got the fancy, they were chrome coilovers. They look like crap. When I repainted this, I haven't cleaned them up. I'm just gonna clean up all the coil springs, clean up these coilovers, and just paint them all black. I'm not worried about chrome. Because if anybody knows anything about VWs, I love empi, but their chrome is honestly pure shit. Cheap Chinese chrome doesn't last out in the weather probably 6 months, and you're going to get rust. So hopefully that kind of clarifies it, Tom. I can't remember on the 67 if that was the first year of 4-lug and IRS rear, or if that was the last year of the swing axle and the wide 5 pattern. But this is all stock. Let me get you in there closer. I did brace it. I did went ahead and added the brace from the shock tower back to the frame. So that way, if we do get off-road and act stupid, I wanted a little bit of reinforcement, which I felt was fitting. We were talking about transmission mounts also. And let me see if I can... How am I going to get this in here? Pardon me, guys. I got to do some playing around. Where'd she go? Right there. And we'll cut the light on. See if that helps. It's a solid mount. I thought I believe when I bought this, I had bought a whole bracketry kit, no, I was gonna buy it. See that, Tom? That is a plate that goes from the frame horns. It just goes to the other side. It would just be your normal. I'm trying to remember all this, guys, so just bear with me, because it's been like 15, 17 years ago I built this. The big bolts that would bolt to how it originally bolt up goes right there. And we were talking about rubber mounts, and no, there are no rubber mounts, Tom. Literally right there, there's nothing. The transmission bolts directly to this. I believe if you Google dune buggy or Sandrail transmission mounts, you'll find this, and they have actually 2 different styles. They have this, and they also have a hoop that goes over the top. That's what that hole's for. It's made to add like extra layer of protection, and then they would have one for back here too. If you notice, I still have the rubber. Actually, let me not lie. I thought I had the rubber mount. This was a 2-piece kit. There's the piece there that solidly bolts with nut and bolt to the frame or torsion tube, and it solidly mounts to the transaxle. So they are right. This is a complete solid mount. Like I said, I believe I bought it. I just didn't decide I wanted it. But they also make the same way. Let me twist this camera up. The same way they would have that hole, they would actually have like a hoop that goes over the transaxle with a padding, and that it kind of cushions it. I believe it comes as a 4-piece. Like I said, this has been a couple of years since I've messed with this, but mine is just solid. That's what the guy was telling you, is how it solidly bolts here and solidly bolts there. Because he is kind of right, where you're going off-road, bouncing, and don't worry, even on the street, it doesn't affect drivability. Now, for my cage, it has a mount there, which, since day one, the inside ones have been missing on both this one and the other one. But the cage bolts here, it wraps underneath, and if we move the camera around, and that bolt connects the cage. That's how you transfer, I guess, safety back into the whole transmission. So that's really it, Tom. It's nothing major. Trust me. Just get online, do some Googling, and just look for solid Sandrail or dune buggy transaxle mounts, and you should find them. It's just simple. I believe, if I remember right, it's 2 nuts and bolts that go this way into the transaxle. Then the big bolt goes that way right into the frame horn, if you're using all stock components. Since I'm at it, I might as well walk you through. And I have a kingpin front end. Completely stock, nothing about it nothing really upgraded, except I had the original body mounts. I had ran bolts straight down, and that's where I had the little flat bracket mounting these turn signal running lights. Now, unfortunately, this side had completely rusted out, and all the years it sat outside until I repainted it. So I just lopped mine off. I don't know if I can get you. These are some like for a threaded rod. So I found a bolt that fits in one side, and I just welded it. And you can see my nice booger welds. I could have done better on the welds, but I was in a hurry. But it's not structural, it's just for holding up 2 lights. Same thing here, coilovers. believe they're empi brand, so the chrome will last you about a year before it starts really rusting out. You get a pair of these and a wrench, and I'll be honest, I think the VW shop that installed them for me stole my damn wrenches, or I lost them. I don't honestly remember, but that's it. That's the whole suspension and the shock towers and the what are we talking about, and the transmission mounts. So it's nothing major. Like I said, Tom, don't let it overwhelm you. A little bit of research, and like I told you, I don't mind helping any of you, Tom, or any of you guys. If you're building a buggy, I can kind of relay some of my experiences and, you know, how I did mine. And since I cleaned mine up and repainted it, I was able to redo a lot of stuff I didn't do years ago. Guys, I appreciate you watching. Comment, subscribe, or just, hey, give me a thumbs up. If y'all willing to do that, I appreciate it. I'm about to actually cut this video out. I'm actually working on a 1955 Jeep Willys frame for that bug body. I'm going to make a 4x4 Baja Beetle. Guys, thank you so much. If you want to see that, let me know in the comments, and I might actually film some of it as I go. Thank you.